Imagine waking up one morning and realizing, banks are using crypto, AI is managing money, states are legalizing stablecoins, satellites are connecting the global financial system, and the people who ignored all of this, they're still arguing about whether Bitcoin is a scam. Meanwhile, the financial system is quietly upgrading itself. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the biggest economic shift of the next decade. Let's break down what's really happening. For years, banks acted like crypto was radioactive. Now they're integrating it. Fintech giant Revolut just filed for a US banking license, which means one of the most crypto-friendly financial platforms on Earth is trying to become a full US bank, but that's just the beginning. Meanwhile, Ripple is integrating crypto futures from Coinbase into its $3 trillion clearing platform. Let that sink in. A crypto company is connecting digital assets to institutional finance infrastructure, and regulators are starting to accept it. US banking regulators have officially clarified that crypto can now qualify as collateral under capital reserve rules. Translation: crypto just moved one step closer to becoming part of the traditional banking system. Here's something even bigger. The state of Florida just became the first state in America to pass legislation supporting stablecoins. Why does this matter? Because stablecoins might become the digital version of the dollar, instead of waiting 2 to 3 days for bank transfers. Stablecoins move money in seconds, and governments are noticing. Globally, Pakistan passed the Virtual Assets Act to regulate crypto markets. South Korea is accelerating stablecoin payments with Circle. Tether is building infrastructure to settle USDT on the Bitcoin network. This isn't random. This is the digital payment infrastructure of the future being built in real time. Now things get even crazier. Crypto infrastructure is starting to merge with artificial intelligence. Payment company MoonPay just launched a multi-chain AI agent capable of operating across 10 different blockchains. This AI system can manage non-custodial wallets, automate DCA investing, interact with multiple crypto networks. Imagine telling your AI, buy Bitcoin when the market dips, rebalance my portfolio, pay my bills using crypto, and it just does it automatically. The scary part? This type of financial automation is just getting started. Now let's add another piece of the puzzle. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, has launched thousands of satellites through Starlink. Starlink is already providing internet to remote regions, developing countries, and war zones. Why does this matter? Because crypto networks only require internet access, not banks. Combine Starlink internet, crypto wallets, stablecoins, AI financial agents, and suddenly, you have a global financial system that works anywhere on Earth. No bank branch required. While all this innovation is happening, the real economy is acting strange. Economists now say we're entering an E-shaped economy, meaning some people are doing incredibly well, others are struggling, and the middle class is stuck in uncertainty. Take banking giant Capital One, which just laid off over 1,100 employees at a former Discover Financial Services office. At the same time, Gen Z college graduates are struggling to find high-paying jobs. College degrees are losing their economic advantage. Unemployment among degree holders is rising. Some AI-proof degrees are paying less than $50,000 per year. Even central bank officials like Michelle Bowman have warned that the labor market may be more fragile than it looks. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Government debt. The U.S. Department of the Treasury may need to borrow another $1.6 trillion just to cover fiscal gaps and rising interest payments. That's why people like Elon Musk have warned that America could go bankrupt if debt continues to spiral. Now add geopolitical tension into the mix. The conflict involving US and Israel's war with Iran is already pushing oil markets and global risk higher. Markets hate uncertainty, and we're seeing plenty of it. Despite tons of bullish news, Bitcoin struggled to stay above $70,000. Some people thought that meant the bull market was over. Not exactly. Markets don't just move on news, they move on liquidity, interest rates, macro fear, global risk. So when investors worry about war, recession, job loss reports, or tightening money supply, risk assets pull back. It's called market breathing. Investment firm ARK Invest, led by Cathie Wood, released its Big Ideas 2026 report back in January, and their research highlights 5 massive technology waves shaping the future: artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, blockchain infrastructure, energy innovation, genomic medicine, These technologies aren't just trends, they're economic revolutions. And when revolutions happen, new fortunes are created. If you haven't already, download ARK Invest Big Ideas 2026, link in the description. There's also a massive geopolitical shift happening. While the United States is still the largest economy by nominal GDP, China has actually been the world's largest economy by purchasing power since 2014. That's a huge shift in global influence. Countries are adapting quickly. For example, Kazakhstan plans to invest $350 million into crypto assets. Governments are slowly realizing that digital finance may define the next economic era. Here's the big takeaway. The world is entering a technology-driven financial transformation, and investors who position themselves early could benefit the most. Some long-term strategies include focusing on disruptive technology, owning scarce assets like Bitcoin and gold, paying attention to infrastructure companies building the future of finance. The next decade will likely be volatile, but opportunity-filled, and diversify your investments. Not financial advice, but consider your options and all the risks involved with investing in stocks or bonds, investing in crypto and precious metals. Look into high-yield savings accounts, or invest in art and maybe real estate if you can. Right now the world feels chaotic, but historically, moments like this happen right before massive economic transformation. Banks are integrating crypto, AI is entering finance, global internet is expanding through satellites, and governments are rewriting financial regulations. The system isn't collapsing, it's upgrading. The only real question is, will you recognize the opportunity before everyone else does? Do your own research and stay updated. Peace.